All right, good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. My name is Brad Koch, and I want to welcome everyone here to the Charlotte City Council chambers for our very first Civilian Leadership Development course graduation. Today is a very special day as we recognize 12 leaders within our organization. Each one of these individuals spent the past 3 months being challenged both personally and professionally. This time, I would like everyone to please rise for the presentation of our colors and then remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by Dre Galloway.
Ready, turn, detail, halt, present, out.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, out. Attack, out. Left, right, ready, turn. Left, right, alert, out. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right.
Family, let's pray. Eternal and gracious Creator, we thank you for the grace again that in this moment you've allowed us to be who we are, where we are, and when we are. Thank you for our chief, our College of Chiefs, our leadership, our team that has led us and led our new family through this incredible experience and course. Thank you for every friend, family, and colleague who has come to support, and how you have just, Lord, brought us all together collectively to advance life and advance the mission to impact and serve this city. Now I pray, Father, as we are being celebrated, supported, and honored, that you would let that go back to you, the glory go back to you, that all strength, all help, all hope comes from you, that when we leave this moment, we don't leave this moment, that we continue to make an impact in the everyday lives of the people that we lovingly lead for our department and for our city and for our world. We thank you for these experiences and this moment you've trusted us with. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you, Chaplain Schaefer, for that beautiful invocation. This time, I'd like to ask our Chief of Police, Johnny Jennings, to the floor to say a few words. Chief Jennings.
Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful national anthem and that invocation. Thank you so much. We were 5 minutes from a catastrophe because I was preparing to sing the national anthem. I was that close. So I want to start out and say that when we hear the words CMPD and we talk about the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, for so many years we have left out one of the most essential pieces of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. And I don't say that loosely to say we left out, but I just say that to recognize the ones behind the scenes that are often forgotten about, our civilian personnel who are so essential to what we do every single day. And I'm so pleased to look at some of the things that we have done over the past few years to lift that up and bring that up to the surface and to recognize how important each and every one of our civilian staff is. So when the idea of the civilian leadership program came about, it wasn't even a question for me. Much like our command college with our sworn leaders, we recognize that there is a responsibility to develop leadership within our organization, and not just on the sworn side, but also to create opportunities for growth within our civilian positions as well. And we've done both of those. So I'm proud to stand here today for the first graduation of our civilian leadership program. And I think this is something that's just a beginning. I feel like we have to continue to celebrate our employees, to give opportunities for growth, and continue to be inclusive across the board within the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. We can't do on the sworn side what we do without those dedicated men and women on the non-sworn side who are keeping us going every single day. So my message today is to let you know, and each of you know, that how much we appreciate you, how much we honor you today for your commitment for the last 3 months to say that I want to continue to grow within our agency and I want to be a better leader for the people that I serve. So congratulations to all the graduates, and hopefully your legacy will continue, and this will be years down the road that we will see and continue to have these leadership programs and move forward. So thank you so much, and I'll turn it back over to Major Koch. Thank you.
Chief. This time I'd like to invite class member Christy Price down to say a few words. Christy.
We were saying that nobody got injured. And they were like, we have one more day left, so, you know. All right, good morning. It absolutely warms our hearts to see so many familiar and new faces supporting us here this morning. First and foremost, Chief Jennings, thank you for your support of such an incredibly invaluable program. And to the many that had a hand in this, the amount of time, energy, and love that went into this has not gone unnoticed. To our CMPD family, thank you for allowing us the time and the space to step away from our routine leadership roles and do some work that dug in deep and will continue to touch every aspect of our lives. 001 is a remarkable group. In just 9 days, we went from individual leaders to a powerhouse tribe. This is a leadership class, but it's so much more. Quoting Brene Brown from Dare to Lead, self-awareness and self-love matter. Who we are is how we lead. This course spent time reminding us of who we are at our core. Class 001, you are phenomenal people. at your core, which is how you are great leaders. From day one, we each willingly showed up, open and ready for the unknown. This was a challenging class, yet often throughout this training, I felt like a kid again, fully allowed to get engrossed in the moments and tasks, not afraid to get messy, literally and metaphorically, open to acknowledging feelings, comfortably confident with discomfort. We were brave enough to try new and hard things, knowing that it wasn't going to be perfect or pretty, kind enough to forgive and be forgiven, humble enough to ask for and accept help, supported and loved, full trust in our classmates, teachers, and former leadership graduates that joined us. Titles and ranks aside, we connected and grew as humans. And although we all had individual takeaways, we all 12 have agreed that we found our tribe. One that we didn't quite realize we needed, one that will undoubtedly continue to make us better people and better leaders. To Class 002, we set the bar high, and we hope you disappoint me. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy. Thanks for that passion. Now, it's my honor and privilege to get to introduce our guest speaker today, Mr. Chris Bierman. Chris found his passion in life when he was given the opportunity to help develop the mission, vision, values, and culture of numerous companies that he worked for. He now teaches organizations and teams how to harness the power of deep, authentic relationships to drive brand reputation, loyalty, and growth through intentional focus on culture, employees, and customer experience that transcends into their home life. Please help me welcome Mr. Chris Bierman. Chris.
Good day. It's an honor to be here to speak at this very first civilian graduation and to the class itself. I'm honored to have been able to be with you during your time, but also to be able to come and speak at your graduation. So one of the things I want to first start out, I want to give them a quick quiz. Sorry, I know you still have one day left, so one quick quiz. What was the very first thing I said to you when I started speaking to you? What? Yes. So the very first thing that I always do whenever I speak is I tell the people I'm speaking to, I love you. And most people, that's very different. But the thing is it true or is it not? And the two biggest things you can do as a leader is make sure your people know that you love them and that you're grateful. If you don't do that, nothing else you do matters. So what I want to talk to you about is about how do you express that? How do you live that out? How do you actually step up every day to love, lead your people well, and to make sure that they know that you're thankful for what they do? Because the other thing is, the greatest honor that I have is to speak to not only whether it's the police department or any type of military organization, because I get to say thank you for your service. Because what you step up to do every day is so different. You truly lay down your lives for other people, physically and metaphorically. Not only do you get dirty, but you truly live out that for your life. So again, thank you for the honor to be here. So one of the things that I did a while back is I came up with a mindset, and it's called the You Not Me mindset. And so to sum up what I basically spoke to them for about 2 hours was that there are two ways you can live your life. It's either all about me, not about you, or it's all about you, and it's not about me. So do you tell people, do you communicate to people with every action you do, whether it's verbal, nonverbal, body language, do you tell people that you are for them, that you care for them, that you love them? Because see, this isn't something that just happens in the workplace. It should. It doesn't happen very often, but it should happen even more for sure at home. And unfortunately, we live in a world where it's not happening at both places a lot of times. So my hope is to change that, to change your heart, to change your mindset so that you actually look at life and you see the opportunities that are right in front of you and you don't let them pass you by. Because otherwise the future will be nothing but shame and regret. So 3 images I want you to think about. The first is a trail runner. I know that there is some PT work that's been done here in the past for a lot of you. And so when you think about trail running, my wife loves to run. She's done 3 marathons, but she hates trail running. She loves to run on the pavement. She said, it's a place where I can just let my mind go and I can just run. I'm different. I love trail running because I always have to have my mind engaged. There are extreme ups and downs, rocks, roots, things to hop over, and you have to constantly stay focused and diligent with what's in front of you. And you have to have a fine balance. So that's the first thing I want to talk to you about is a fine balance. So when you're trail running, if you don't want to fall face first, you can't look 20, 30 yards ahead, but also there are times that there's a season where you might have to look straight down, but the ultimate place that your vision should lie is 10 feet ahead of you. Because you can see that rock or root that's coming up, and you can navigate it. But the thing is so often as leaders, sometimes we get stuck looking only ahead or only here, and we don't keep the present in balance. So you have to keep that in mind always when you're looking at the people that you're leading and hopefully leading well. So when you actually look at the seasons that come, can you balance all those seasons? Because some days you might be charged with all 3 seasons at once. You have to look in the future, you have to look at a fire that's in front of you right now, and you have to look to where you're going as you're continuing to move ahead. But can you love your people in the midst of that, when the stresses and the trials come? Because they will come. As we know, life is not easy. This is hard. And what you do and deal with every day is really hard. In the civilian world, in the business world, we have issues, but you have real issues. You protect and serve, but also you keep us safe. And there are things that pop up where you have to be immediate. So will you, in the midst of that immediate stress, still love your people well and think about who they are and how you're leading them? So the other thing, too, is there are times when you're running that you have to encourage somebody to keep taking more steps. Whether it's running a marathon, if you stop at an aid station for food or drink, but you stop and you drink, everybody else keeps passing you by. And the thing is, the best thing you can do is drink and eat while you continue to take steps forward towards your goal, towards your purpose. And sometimes you need somebody to put their hand at their back or to speak an encouraging word. There was a guy when I was in high school running track. I was a sprinter. I wasn't a distance runner. So when we would do the 5-mile, 6-mile runs, I hated them because it was just boring to me. And he would always run with me. He'd say, oh, let's get to that next stop sign. Just a little bit further, let's get to that next stop sign, then we'll take a break. And guess what? We get to the stop sign, and he'd point out another thing off into the distance. He's like, okay, just let's keep going to that one. And next thing I knew, 5 miles was gone, where I probably would have chosen to stop and walk a couple times. So can you be that leader, that encouragement to your people to say, keep taking a step forward? So the second image is a leaf on the ground. Falls about 4 or 5 months away, 6 months away. So when a leaf falls to the ground and a wind comes, what happens? Moves around, right? But does that leaf have any aim, any purpose? Or does it just look busy? And as leaders and as people, a lot of times what happens is we just look busy. We don't have an aim or a purpose that is always our focus and our goal. So as a leader, instead of allowing yourself to be like a leaf that is lifeless, and lifelessness is akin to basically not having purpose. So when you're moving around and you're just being blown about by the wind, but no actual purpose that you're trying to accomplish, you're just busy, and it's time wasted. So as a leader, can you make sure that you have your purpose set? Have you taken time to actually think about what your goals are, what you want to accomplish, but also then do the same for your people? Make sure that they have a purpose. Make sure that they know how loved they are and that you keep pointing them towards what they're walking towards. Because this life, as I said, is hard, and we can be blown off course any minute. And so when you think about your people that are under your leadership, they go home. How they left work is how they're going to enter their home. If they don't leave work well, they don't get home well. And it affects their family life. If you have someone that is so stressed and doesn't feel cared for, when they go home, it's taken out on their family. And maybe it's not in anger, maybe it's just in quietness, in non-engagement. And as you all see, the problem with our youth is there are not engaged people in their lives that love them well. So can you make sure that the people under your leadership don't go home that way? Because how they leave home affects how they come to work. So can you love them well and make them see the great things that they're doing, their purpose? Let them see the achievements that they're doing, but also let them know that you're for them. Because even in the midst of the biggest stress, the biggest storms that come in life, if we know somebody, at least one person is for us, we can make it through. So the third image I want you to think about is a river, a rushing river. What do you need for a river? Water? Yes. But what else do you need? Riverbanks. See, the thing is, if you don't have riverbanks, that water is a destructive flood, spreading out and damaging all that it comes in contact with. So as a leader, you are like those riverbanks to your people. You are the ones that are shepherding them and taking the power of the rushing water and using it for good. As we see here, obviously, Lake Norman, there are power plants. With that water, we create energy. So how can you find a way to make sure you're holding your people accountable, you're loving them well, so that they actually do great things? Because as we see, there's a reason we need the police department. Has anybody read Lord of the Flies, right? When kids are left to their own, there are problems. And we need people to create order. But in order to do that, in order for people to actually want to listen, they need to know that you love them. There's I don't know if you've all heard of Simon Sinek. One of my favorite quotes of him is, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And if you don't love your people well, if they don't feel like you care for them, they're not going to listen very well. And also, they're not going to be very engaged. And then the people they interact with, they're not going to love them well. So it starts with you as leaders. And that's why I'm so thankful to have gotten to know you during this class, because it's amazing to me, as you said, how much you have come together and become a tribe from people that didn't really know each other very well. And the most important thing you can do is find out about your people. Ask them questions. Know about their home life. Know what's happening, whether it's the highs or the lows. Because when they know that you care and you're thinking about them beyond just their function at work, it brings a closeness together that doesn't happen otherwise. So one of my good friends is a thought-leading oncologist here in Charlotte, and he came to me when he heard of everything that I was doing, and he asked me to help him. I said, sure, I'm happy to help you. And he said, I want you to help me with my patients, because my patients don't die well. And what I think he actually meant to say is not that my patients don't die well. I think what he wanted me to do was help his patients live a life that's full. To die full. And so when I say that, what you do every day, giving of your life, what your people do, going out, putting their life on the line, possibly not coming home, it's a stress on them, it's a stress on their families. And I speak to this from experience, even though I am not a police officer. This past Tuesday, my son just committed to West Point to play soccer. And so he is doing what you are doing, what your people are doing, is he is saying yes to serving and loving other people well and putting his life on the line, no matter the cost. And so when I think about all that he's gone through, and when I think about what my friend asked me to help him with, the key to life is not dying well, it's living well. And whether that's living for 30 years, doing something amazing, loving people, making a difference in your community, versus 80 years of selfishness and just caring about yourself and never making a difference in someone else's life. And so that's why I say thank you for your service, because you are making a difference in this community, in the lives of the people that you lead, that is beyond what you can imagine. And so be thoughtful. Think about how you can love them well. Because again, you can do so many things leading your function well, but if you don't love them well, it's all for naught. If they don't know you care, and if you don't tell them how much you care and how much you're thankful, gratitude that's never unspoken is a lost opportunity. So my hope was to stir you up today, but it was to stir you up in love. It was to stir you up to love other people well, so then you stir other people up to love other people well. Because it is a chain reaction. And it starts with the person that's right in front of you. Can you look at them, give them your undivided attention, care about them deeply, and give them the best of yourself? So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for leading well. I want to thank you for leading with excellence in how you're shaping this community and this police department. Because if it weren't for you, none of this could happen. So thank you so much. I wish you all the best. I'm here for you. I love you. And I care for you. If no one else has told you that today, you matter. Thank you very much.
Chris, thank you very much for those words, and I love you. Congratulations to your son. Now I would like to ask Major Ryan Jackson to join me down front here as we present the certificates to our very first Civilian Leadership Development course. And first up is Ms. Kelly Alvarez. Kelly has worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for 13 years, and she currently oversees the Communications Division. Our next graduate, Ms. Robin Cummins. Robin has worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for the past 3 years and currently oversees the afternoon shift of our Property and Evidence Management Division. Our next graduate, Ms. LaToya Dorsey. LaToya has worked for us for the past 2 years and currently oversees the Human Resources Division. Our next graduate, Ms. Anna Duffy. Anna has worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for the past 8 years and currently oversees the civilian support staff at the Training Academy. Our next graduate, Ms. Cara Evans Patterson. Cara has worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for the past 11 years and currently oversees Community Engagement Services. Next graduate, Miss Ebony Jones. Worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for the past 10 years and currently manages the Fiscal Affairs Division. Our next graduate, Mr. Adam Keefe. Adam has worked for us for the past 8 years and currently oversees our real-time crime center. Our next graduate, Mr. Christopher Meyer. Chris has worked for us for the past 3 years and currently is an animal care and control supervisor. Our next graduate, Ms. Christy Price. Our phenomenal guest speaker has worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for the past 21 years and currently oversees our Crime Scene Search Division. Our next graduate, Chaplain Theo Schaefer. Theo has worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for the past 6 years and currently manages the department chaplaincy program. Next graduate, Chesonia Stackhouse. Tony has worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for the past 15 years and is currently a supervisor in our non-emergency police services division. And our final graduate is Miss Jennifer Stewart. Jennifer has worked for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department for the past 21 years and currently oversees our court services unit. At this time, I'd like all 12 of our Civilian Leadership Development Course graduates to please stand and be recognized for this incredible achievement. Thank you very much. Right. For years, our department has worked to develop and create not only a succession plan, but also a leadership development for our future leaders. Years ago, we created Command College and the Sergeant Leadership Development course to plant and cultivate the leadership nuggets necessary for our sergeants, lieutenants, and captains to excel within their positions. Both of these courses help develop leaders not only within our own organization, but within organizations all across the Southeast. And I am proud to say, for the very first time, we recognize the need to pour into our civilian leaders as well. With the blessing of Chief Jennings, Major Ryan Jackson, Captain Mike Ford, and Officer Wayne Embry, along with recent graduates, recent as of 2 minutes ago, graduates Latoya Dorsey and Ebony Joes developed a committee to create the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department Civilian Leadership Development course. It was created to provide the unique opportunity for leaders of all levels to test and forge their mental, physical, and emotional skills necessary to lead. We believe that leadership is a measurable, learnable, and teachable set of behaviors. The course was designed to inspire, encourage, and develop leaders to effect positive change in an ever-evolving culture. I think it's safe to say that if you were to query this class, they will all say this experience challenged them physically, and it was thought-provoking and emotionally charged to invoke the leader you were called to be. The growth and development of not only yourselves personally, but also professionally, has a direct impact on the success of us as an organization, as well as a community. The profession of policing will continue to need both sworn and civilian strong leadership. Long after each of us have moved on to other challenges, we will still need police. The challenge is to make your mark and be the difference while you are here. Thank you each for giving 110% during the past 3 months, and I encourage each of you to continue inspiring those around you and always be the change you want to see. Before we leave, I do want to thank all of our command staff for showing up and really being here to support these civilian leaders. We cannot do this alone. Thank you all for coming, and until next time, Godspeed.
I'm feeling blessed. This is how it feels when there's real success. I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling blessed. This is how it feels when there's real success. Learn a lesson, it's not a question I ever hate. I elevate the answer you need, see, I innovate. I'm only winning, I stay driven, it's not a given. Stay digging, looking for better living, I stay grinning. Whatever reason, I'm pushing hard regardless. I'm cautious to never give in to any losses. This is life on a limb, swim or take a leap. The inner piece of being your best can make you so unique. I'm feeling blessed. This is how it feels when there's real success. I'm feeling blessed. This is how it feels when there's real success. blessed. I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling blessed. This is how it feels when there's real success.